Hello, welcome to Miss Summary. We're not going to stop on details. Let's get started right away. Here come the spoilers. Today's series begins with Jang, a young woman who is sitting and chatting calmly with her boyfriend, Jun-soo. As it gets late, Jang apologizes to him and leaves his apartment. They meet at the university the next day, and after a brief argument, Jang apologizes to Jun-soo, who walks away without saying a word. A few days later, she spots her boyfriend talking with her friend Se-yeon and heads over to them, wanting to know exactly what the two of them are discussing there so seriously. And Se-yeon tells her that a girl has rejected her boyfriend and that he has broken up with her, to which she responds, nervous about the possibility of the same thing happening with her boyfriend, that if a boy fell in love with her, she would never break up with him over that, and that she would treat this boy with respect. Later, Jang goes to Jun-soo's apartment and upon entering, finds Se-yeon's clothes scattered on the floor. Then Jang, angry, heads over to them to demand an explanation. However, Se-yeon calms her down and argues that they are working together on a project. We all know what kind of project that is. Next day, Jang meets with her friend Kim to tell him everything that happened, and he assures her that Jun-soo loves someone else and is cheating on her. Still unwilling to believe it, she decides to go with Jun-soo back to his apartment once again, meet up there with Se-yeon, and keep working on that so-called project they are supposedly doing together. Once there, Jang puts on her headphones but turns the music down to listen to their conversation. Suddenly, she is stunned to realize they are talking to one another as if they were a couple. However, Jun-soo, noticing her confusion, tries to justify himself and suggests going for a walk with her. Another day, while Jang and Jun-soo are waiting together at the university for classes to begin, Se-yeon appears wearing the same shirt as her, which she bought on a date she had with her boyfriend. Se-yeon claims she bought it the day before to avoid suspicion. However, when they head to the restroom together, Jang catches sight of a coffee stain on Se-yeon's shirt in the mirror, a stain that unmistakably belonged to Jun-soo, revealing the truth behind her flimsy and deceitful excuse. When questioned about this matter, Se-yeon assures the protagonist that she visits her boyfriend's apartment more than once a week for the sake of their project. Jang, naturally unable to believe her friend's words, calls a classmate to ask about the project. She confirms that no such project exists. Wake up and see the truth, girl. It is time to realize what is really going on here. So, suspecting that both of them are laughing at her, Jang shows up unexpectedly at her boyfriend's apartment and discovers what was obvious. They were definitely cheating on her, and if you allow me to say so, in a very shameless way. At that moment, Jun-soo tries to explain himself, but Se-yeon steps in and assures her that she started loving him before she did. After leaving, Jang decides to go out partying alone that night, and once there, she begins to feel sick and dizzy. However, a young man named Kyung Woo appears at just the right moment and approaches her to help her and keep her from falling to the floor. After that, they begin talking and hit it off together. Following day, Jang heads to the university, desperately attempting to remain hidden and keep to herself. A classmate approaches, trying to check in on her, but Jang gives no response at all. This continues until her friend Kim finally shows up on the scene and does his best to try and cheer her back up again. In the afternoon, Jang stays with her friend Kang to have dinner together and tell her what happened. At that moment, her friend Kim appears, and the three of them stay chatting. A few days later, while walking through the university, she runs into the guy who helped her that night and tries to keep him from recognizing her. However, once in class, both are assigned to work on a project together, alongside her ex-boyfriend Jun-soo. To make Jun-soo jealous, Jang grabs Kyung Woo's phone to save her number for herself. Nevertheless, when class ends, he tries to talk to her, but she refuses to say a word to him. Right after that, one of her classmates shares a photo of her from that night, drunk and dizzy at the club, in a university group chat, and she starts receiving mocking, demeaning comments from the other students. Next day, Jang comes looking for answers and gets into an argument with Se-yeon. Later, while she is walking alone through the university hallways, a hooded young man tries to assault her. However, Kyung Woo appears again at just the right moment to defend her and save her from her stalker. She finally agrees to speak with him, and they begin to get acquainted. You know, guys, to get close to your crush, all you have to do is play the hero. Later, Jun-soo, regretful, goes to Jang to talk to her and ask for forgiveness for what happened. However, Jang answers that she is now in love with someone else, so she starts spending time with Kyung Woo, and soon, little by little, they are often seen together, which fills Jun-soo with jealousy, and he even witnesses them walking hand in hand. One night, while she is walking home alone on the street, Jun-soo appears from behind and assures her that he does not believe she is in love with Kyung Woo. At that moment, fortunately, her friend Kang appears and forces him to leave. Next day, Junsu looks for her again at the university, and while he tells her that he does not love Se-yeon, she appears, and Jang shows her a recording of the conversation, proving to her that he is also playing with her. After that, Se-yeon slaps him, and the three of them leave the place. As she leaves the university, Kyung Woo appears from behind and takes Jang's hand. Jang, who is afraid of getting into a romantic relationship again, is not able to express her feelings to him, but she tells him how happy it would make her to go out together that afternoon. So they meet for dinner, and a few days later they do it again at a cafe. While they are together, her friend Kang appears, and when she steps away to answer a call, Kyung Woo takes Jang by the hand, and they slip away from the place to enjoy each other's company alone. However, a few days later, she discovers that Kyung Woo is having a soda with Se-yeon, and when she asks him for an explanation, he argues that he is working on another project. Jang leaves, bewildered, but Kyung Woo chases after her and asks if she was jealous. Unsure how to respond, she explains what Se-yeon did, and he finally understands her anger. I would have felt the exact same way in her shoes. Then, little by little, Kyung Woo begins to flirt with her more. Things seem to be going well, and even her friend Kang is finally going on a date with her crush, so Jang lends her a dress. Next day, she finds a note in her college locker saying she always falls for the guys her friends like. Then, as she comes out of class, she's stunned to spot her friend Kang out on a date with Kyung Woo, wearing the dress she had lent her the day before. That night, Kyung Woo shows up at her house carrying an intoxicated Kang on his back. Poor Jang. I certainly would not want to be in her shoes right now. In an effort to distance herself from Kyung Woo, Jang accepts a proposal from her friend Kim to spend time alone that afternoon, and he confesses to her that he likes a girl at the university without specifying who. Next day, she runs into Kyung Woo at the university, who unsuccessfully tries to talk with her thanks to Kim's intervention, as he steps between the two and takes Jang away. At night, on the way home, Kim appears from behind, and they decide that he will walk her home, out of fear of running into the guy who harassed her at the university. Before leaving, he confesses that she is the one he is in love with, without her knowing what to answer. Days later, at the university, she sees Kyung Woo and Kang together again, so she decides to go have dinner alone at a restaurant. There, a drunk young man tries to attack her, but Kim appears just in time to defend her and treat a wound that the guy had caused after pushing her. The next day, at the university, she runs into her friend Kang and asks if she is in love with Kyung Woo, and they end up arguing. To settle the matter, Jang assures Kang that the one she loves is Kim. However, when she runs into him, he tells her that it is better if they simply remain friends, leaving Jang without a response. At night, Kyung Woo writes to Jang and assures her that her friend does not love him, and they arrange a date in the park. Once there, while the protagonist is still alone, her harasser appears and, after confessing that he loves her and that she has to be his girlfriend, tries to assault her again. At that very moment, Kyung Woo appears, and after managing to defend her, he forces her attacker to swear that he will not bother her again. The next day, she thanks him, and they finally resume contact. Afterward, upon meeting with Kim, he wishes her the best with Kyung Woo, knowing that he is the one she truly loves. And so the plot concludes with this love story, completely free of any betrayals between Jang and Kyung Woo. And so, this tangled drama comes to an end. Before I go, I would like to know if you have ever experienced something similar, or if Jang should have stayed with Kim. Share your story or tell me what you think. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Goodbye.